The Duke of Sussex and his wife, Meghan Markle, have a tense relationship with the royal family, and the contents of the book that have leaked and snippets from his upcoming appearances with 60 Minutes and ITV have added to this friction. Aside from the slightly repulsive information, the most important revelations were Harry's relationship with his brother, Prince William, whom Harry reportedly refers to in the book as his arch-enemy. Harry and Meghan are certainly capitalizing on the fact that there has never been more public interest in the royal family, thanks to both real-world events like the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the upcoming coronation of Harry's father King Charles III, and the resignation of former Prime Minister Liz Truss, as well as the wildly successful popularity of fictional series like The Crown. William and the rest of the royal family have been silent during this time. Well done to them. Whereas Harry once may have inspired some empathy for having lived his entire life as the spare, the weaker of the two brothers, and currently sitting fifth in line for the throne, behind his 7-year-old niece, Princess Charlotte, empathy is in limited supply today. Due to concerns that they preferred a private existence as ordinary people, Harry and Meghan left the royal family. They claimed they no longer desired the public attention that came with being royals, including becoming tabloid fodder. Harry stated to ITV in a sample from an upcoming interview, "I own a family. Not a place of learning." And yet here they are, fully and willingly creating that fodder themselves. And fodder it is. Among the gossipy allegations Harry lobs at his brother in spare, are details of a physical altercation between the two during which William knocked Harry to the floor and left him scratched and bruised, and claims that William and his wife, Kate Middleton, were the ones responsible for encouraging Harry's controversial Nazi costume in 2005. Revelations in spare also dish on Meghan's relationship with Kate, including a claim that Kate demanded Meghan apologize for once suggesting she had baby brain. Buckingham Palace has repeatedly declined to comment on the book. What we witness, via these revelations, is a younger brother who is desperately trying to retaliate against a lifetime of feeling inferior, but who is doing so in the ugliest way imaginable. Additionally, it appears pitiful. Competition between kids is typical, and brotherly rivalry is much more prevalent when there are just two of them. Most people do not grow up in households that have clearly defined hierarchies that help to remind them of their particular position. However, brotherly strife has persisted throughout history, generating innumerable pieces of art across all genres, most of them tragedies. Harry is not unique, his is one of the most typical human dramas. He is neither a victim nor an innocent party. Although there has been much discussion about Meghan's role in Harry's decision to leave the family since their relationship began, it is now obvious that the wounded Harry sought out the support and understanding he required as well as someone who might assist him break away from his family. He discovered it in her, a woman whose desire to succeed in acting propelled her career and whose own family featured tense interactions with her half-sister and her father, a woman who was not afraid to express herself, even to royalty. It's obvious that Harry and Meghan are, to some extent, attempting to control the narrative about themselves in the wake of unfavorable press coverage that added racism and misogyny to an already toxic family dynamic. However, Harry's current attempts to mend those scars by disclosing sensitive family topics are neither honorable nor sufficient to save him. In fact, thanks to Harry's insights, it's possible to empathize with William the most because he was born with a predetermined fate and, in contrast to Harry, had little options. Harry won't be king, William will. But it's unclear if William wants to do it or whether he'll do it out of pure patriotic and familial duty. William is choosing the noble course of silence, which explains this. Isn't it interesting that we are much more familiar with Harry and Meghan, the pair who left the royal family in order to maintain their privacy, than we are with the couple who stayed? While we can and should be critical of Harry's method of dealing with his situation, we can also show some sympathy and compassion for him. After all, he wasn't wholly his own creation. In addition, he was raised in a protected and ultra-privileged environment, making him likely still a young man of 38. He is now fighting the system that created him in the only way he is capable of, possibly because it is the only method he is aware of to support himself financially and live on his own. He felt taken advantage of as a youngster and young adult, and now he is taking advantage of his family, and earning an enormous amount of money in the process. Maybe one day we'll hear from Harry in his true identity as a guy who is not a member of the royal family, from which he has often stated that he is yearning to be freed. Up until then, we can probably anticipate more of the same victimization, bitterness, and blaming, traits that are actually extremely unworthy of a monarch. Harry, though, is no longer one.